welcome back to Blender in Motion. Today we're going to be making a YouTube intro sort of effect, and it's going to look something like this. So yeah, let's get into how we did that. The first thing we're going to do is, as usual, we're going to delete everything in our scene by clicking A to select everything and X on our keyboard to delete, and we're just going to left click on that. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the top orthographic view by clicking numpad 7 on the keyboard on the numpad, and then we're going to create our the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the triangle. That's the first thing we would want to do. So let's get into how we make that. So what we can do is we can say Shift A, we can add a plane. Okay, then we can go into edit mode by clicking tab. So now it's in edit mode, and we're going to select these 2 points on the top, and then we're going to click M and then click add merge at the center. Now we have a simple triangle. What we would have to do now is, it's still a mesh, so we want to convert it into a curve. So let's go into mesh, or actually let's go into the object mode by clicking tab, and then go into the object tab, and then go down to convert to curve, and voila, now we have a outline of a triangle, which is what we want. So we can make that glowing effect. So let's get into, let's give it some depth. So let's just make it let's see 0.1, 0.2, actually whatever you feel you like. I think I'll go with 0.03. that just makes it a bit rounder and stuff. So I think everything here is fine. Now that we have increased the depth, what we can do now is we can convert it back to a mesh. So let's go into the, obviously while it was in object mode, let's go to object and then go back, convert back to a mesh. So now it's a mesh, and we can go and right click this and click shade smooth. Okay, so now we have a smooth sort of triangle. If we can just zoom around it. So I click numpad 7, go back into the top orthographic view, and now we have our triangle. So everything is going according to plan right now. The other thing what we could do is we're gonna need 3 of these triangles. So but let's first create our background image. Let's get the plane. So let's add a plane. So I said Shift A, add a plane. Let's increase the size of the plane. Let's say SX and increase the size. Let's say SY, let's increase that size. SX, increase the size. Okay, let's get to let's get a camera. Let's get a camera. So I'd like to see how it looks before I do it. So let's add a camera. So I went Shift A, add a camera, and let's press, while we in this position, Control Alt numpad 0 all at the same time, and now we have the camera locked in on the camera perspective. Okay, so the next thing, let's try and get the effect in terms of the triangle. So we would want the 3 triangles basically. So let's first name this first triangle that we have. Let's call it rectangle 1. Okay, then let's go to Shift D. Let's duplicate it and right click. Let's call that rectangle 2. Then let's Shift D to duplicate that again and right click to put it back and say rectangle 3. So we just name it so we know. Okay, so let us also, let's get the, while we're at it, let's just do the background black. Let's make the background black, and let's also add some material on this. So let's make it an emission, and let's increase the emission to about 20. Then let's go to the second one and let's just make this green or whatever color you feel. Let's also change that to emission and let's make this 27 or 20. And let's go to the third and let's add, make this blue. Let's change this to emission 20. And let's go into our property tab and make it bloom and make that ambient occlusion. You could have done this at the end, but I think I'd like to see how the effect turns out while I'm doing the project. So yeah, so now that we have our rectangle 1, rectangle 2 and rectangle 3, we can sort of see what's going on here. Okay, now all we got to do is we got to animate the triangle so that we get that effect. So I'm going to make rectangle 1 be the first rectangle that obviously flies through, and then rectangle 3 will be the last one that is there. So let's animate that. So so the first one we can make it like 20 or 10. Let's say 10. Let's rotate it. Oh, actually that's rectangle 1. Okay, so we want this to be not red. Let's make it green. And we'll make the other colors a different color. So now we have it green. So let's say like here we'll say the location would be not here. Let's say GZ. Alright, GX. Let's move it more to this side. Let's also like, let's make it here. Okay, and let's say I to, let's say location rotation. Then let's go a bit to 15. Let's go into there. Let's say I lock scale and rotation, or look, let's just say location, and then let's go into 30 and let's move it all the way down. Okay, and let's lock that scale rotation. So let's see how it looks. So you can see there's some cool movement. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Let's change the color of the second rectangle to blue. Let's also R Z, and let's also bring that up. So remember the last one, the rectangle one, finished at 30. So we would want this one to like start at 20, just after. So let's say G, and we can put it like here, and let's lock that location and rotation and the scale. Let's bring it to 35 or 30. Let's make it 30. Let's say GZ. Lock the location, rotation, and scale again. Let's go to 45 maybe, and let's put it all the way down. So now we got the location of the screen. So let's see how that looks. Well, this also works. It's basically just playing around with what effect you could do anything with this effect. You could basically do it like this, or do it like how I did it in the starting of the in the starting of the clip that I showed you. So yeah, I think I'll keep it. It actually looks kind of cool. It's like a two-layered. And okay, yeah, so let's do the last one. The last one is, so I'm going to rotate it on the Z. Yeah, I think that's what I want. And I'm just going to change the color to red, which is the YouTube. So this one, we actually want it to start like so somewhere right back. So it should start at, actually it should start at 40. So let's make it 40 or 45. So now that we have the triangle, which is on frame 45, we'll go to frame 70 and let's click GZ on the keyboard. Let's bring it right down. Let's put it a bit to the left of our screen. Let's scale it down. Let's just go into render view to see how it looks. Yeah, I think that's good. Then we say R. We say R 3 6. No, we obviously I've got to click that. So R 360. Enter, and then we say I on the keyboard and we click location, rotation, and scale. So now we can see that's how it runs, follows through. So if you go back to frame 1, we click play, and that's how it's going. And I think maybe we can just go back to the last rectangle, and on the triangle let's move it to frame 40, so we can just have it start more earlier. Or let's go back to frame 35. Yeah, I think that's good. So now we have 1, 2, 3, and that's how you basically do the animation. And then all we gotta do is take this to frame 250 and or 150. You could make it, maybe you could say 180, and then we're gonna export this into our video editor or our DaVinci Resolve or whatever, and then just add a text and on the right hand side over here, and then you have this effect. I could show you how to do that on Blender, so I'm going to do that for you as well. So, and then when you're rendering this out, put the space reflections on, and you could change the color management to standard and high contrast, so we can get this type of look. So now it's looking much more cooler. Okay, yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'm gonna be doing the video editing soon. So yes guys, as promised, we on the video editing tab on Blender, and we're gonna now add our clip that we made. So we can add our text to the effect. We're just gonna find where we have put our effect. We go and find it. I think it's tutorial final. So now we imported our clip onto Blender. Let's just have it play out. Okay, it's working. Then we're going to add a text, and we want our text somewhere around here. So just as it stops, and let's expand this, and let's add a effect to the strip, and let's call it a fade in. Okay, oh yes, let's just increase the size of the font, and let's change the font to whatever you want. We can increase the font, and let's just change it to YouTube. Remember, you can use any video editing software. I used DaVinci Resolve, but you could do it in Blender as well. Let's just put that right here. I think Blender uses a format called Roblox. I don't know if I have it saved here, but you get the idea. It's just any font that you want to make for your intro. Let's just see how it looks. 1, 2, 3. I think that's perfect. So yeah guys, that's how you do this effect. Basically after you do that, you go in and you click render. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you subscribe, so we can both be learning how to use the software to create motion graphics and anything else which you might be interested in. So yeah, thanks for watching and bye.